it's Izzy and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to talk you through how I learned to walk again. I get asked quite a lot of the time like how the adjustment was and stuff, and I have spoken about the differences, but I thought it'd be really interesting to explain to you kind of the process, what I went through over the summer to learn to walk in my new legs. Now, if you guys didn't know, I used to walk on mini blade XTs, which are like this, and now I walk on sea legs, which are like this. So yeah, I'm gonna go basically through the whole process of learning to re-walk. Summer 2019, I had kind of dedicated the whole summer holidays to learning to re-walk again. So the first step was getting casted. I'm pretty sure I did this on my first day of the holidays after my exams. Yeah, I was dedicated. I wanted to do this. First day of the holidays, I woke up nice and early so I could go and get casted for new legs. I have a whole video where I show getting casted. They weren't for these legs, but it's the same process. So I went and got casted, and then I just kind of had to wait until they'd got the parts in to construct my sea legs. I then got to choose what colour I wanted, and this is always the most tricky part because I knew that I would have the colour for years, so I didn't want to pick a colour that I didn't like. So in the end I picked this glittery pink finish, which yeah, you can see. So it's like a dark glittery pink, and this is really pretty. I really like it. So yeah, we did that. Anyway, after a while we then got called back into the hospital. So before they got made pink, I had to do a fitting with them. This is where they construct them, but not fully and not securely. So they are just seeing and playing around and stuff. So one of the guys from Otterbock actually came, because these are Otterbock legs, and they did the setting up properly. So basically my normal legs, my other ones, have always just been set up like straight, where these ones are set up to the angle that my legs actually go down from my body at. So a lot of people's legs don't just go like vertically down, they go slightly out from under your bum, they go slightly forward. So they've adjusted the settings on that, which is why my posture is so much better in these legs, because it allows my legs to sit naturally, whereas when they were sitting too straight, my body was then leaning forwards and my torso was leaning back, hence the massive arch that used to be in my back. Look at my tan. I'm sorry guys, look at my tan lines, this is awful. Anyway, so once they were set up like that, I had to start walking. Now firstly, they told me just walk how you'd walk in your blades, but in these legs. I was like, okay. So I just started walking like that, and that was fine. I felt actually quite confident in them, even though the setup on them was completely different to my blades. So all the angles were completely different to anything I was used to, but I actually really enjoyed it and thought, you know, I can do this. I was very positive at this point. So after that, they then said, okay, sit down. And I was like, how? And this is the first time I actually sat down on the legs, where you just lean back and the legs take you. And oh my gosh, I was so like, what? That they could do it. Honestly, that's the only way I can describe. I was actually baffled at how they worked. So after that, obviously, like I said, they weren't properly stable at this point. So we left the hospital and we did whatever for weeks. During this period, there was summer in the city. I went to Paris, I know, living my best life, and my legs were getting made. So I'm not actually sure what day I picked them up, but anyway, after a while I went to pick them up. Now this is so scary for me, because I was going to pick up a pair of legs that I didn't actually know how to walk in, and take them home, and that would be it, right? So I went to the hospital and I tried them on, and we practiced standing up. Standing up is still one of the hardest things I found to do in them, so that was difficult. Anyway, I'm stood up and then I'm like, help. How do I move forwards? So before I even realised I was walking normally, I was doing it like straight away, because it just felt really natural to do it. I thought that I would have lost like the natural inbuilt of how to walk normally, but I hadn't. I think it just all came back to me, and and yeah, I was walking straight away, and it wasn't until they put a mirror in front of me that I realised I was doing it, because it didn't feel out of the norm at all. It just felt like I was doing it. I couldn't feel the knees bend, which is what a lot of other legs had scared me when I tried knee joints before, because I'd always been able to feel the jolts of when they bent and stuff, and it scared me. So with these, I just like I couldn't. So it felt so weird. Everything was just so smooth and fluid that I was just shocked that it was even happening, to be honest. So we did that for a bit, and then I did a bit more practicing sitting up and standing. Then I went through like the instructions and stuff, what I could do with them, what I shouldn't do, like what to avoid, so like sand, water, kind of things like that. And then we went home, and let me tell you, I was walking around the house gripping onto everything, because I did not yet have the confidence in them to just be able to walk like normally. Even though I was able to walk in them, I just couldn't. I tripped quite a lot at the start, and yeah, it was not fun. So then I went to collect my GCSE results in them, because what else would you do, you know, when you can't really walk in a pair of legs and you're really nervous? So I went to collect my GCSE results in them, which is the first time they made an appearance on my YouTube channel, I think. And yeah, I went into my school, showed everyone my legs, and collected my GCSE results. So that was my first big outing in them. It was stressful, but yeah, that's the first time I went out in them. So you're probably thinking, did the hospital just abandon you after that? No, of course they didn't. So I was then booked in for physio sessions. I think I had 1 a week, maybe 2 a week, for quite a long period of time, maybe like a month, maybe not, I can't remember, because I actually learned things really quickly, and this is kind of what they praised me, saying that I learned things really quickly. I picked it up. So we started going to physio from when I collected my legs, and yeah, I basically just walked on them, did what I wanted. So in physio, what we did is we would practice walking. I was basically fine with, so we didn't really do much practicing of walking. Obviously everything else involved walking. Our first thing that we needed to tackle was slopes. I had had an utter meltdown on a slope, and this basically put me off doing them. So basically we live on the top of a hill. It's not a very steep hill, but it's a hill, and we were going down to the dentist, which is at the bottom of the hill, and we thought, good idea, let's practice walking. However, it didn't comprehend in our heads that we hadn't practiced walking slopes at physio yet, and they'd be really difficult. It was really difficult, and I think I cried the entire way. Yeah, I am 16 and I cried. So that wasn't very fun, and I think it really put me off at doing slopes, and I was like petrified to do them, even if it wasn't very steep at all. I've spoken about my fear of slopes on here before. So that was the first thing we practiced. They did gradual. They have like a slope thing at the hospital where they can make it steeper or flatter, so we did that for ages and practiced that, and then we went outside and practiced on a big slope that they had outside and all kind of things like that. So that was the first thing that we really tried to conquer at physio, and then once I'd done that, they were basically just like, do slopes as often as possible. So I did, and I kept practicing doing slopes. My drive's a bit of a slope, so we kind of did that, and yeah, I was going on walks every day, I think, just a little circuit for a bit with my mum, just to kind of get used to doing everything. The first time I went on a walk, I held on to her the whole way. I was screaming because I just didn't feel stable at all. However, the last time I did it, I managed to do it completely by myself. Now I will go outside on these legs completely by myself, because it just doesn't faze me anymore. But I did think it's important to show you I did not just become confident, don't worry. We did slopes at physio. We then moved on to doing stairs, because up to this point I'd been doing stairs normally how I would do it in my blades. They wanted to see if I could do the stairs a more like normal way, going down them forwards rather than backwards how I used to. So we did practice this for ages, and this was flipping difficult. I have so many clips which I will insert throughout this video of quite a few of these processes, but doing stairs down, I think I did it about 1,000 times, and we have so many clips because I couldn't work out what I was doing wrong. They were saying you jump in, and I was like, I'm not jumping down these stairs, and then look at the video and be like, Izzy, why are you jumping down the stairs? So there's a lot of times that we practiced doing the stairs until eventually that came with me and something I was able to do. I still don't do stairs now the like recommended way that they would teach people who only had one sea leg. However, when you have two, everything's wobbly a lot of the time, so they just said, you know what, if you're confident and happy doing it this way, then stick to doing it this way. So I was like, yes please. Then the entire time I was at physio, really, we did practicing of standing up. I always say this, but practicing of standing up is something that I still need to do and still do. I can do it, like, if I go to practice doing it, I can do it, but when I'm in an actual environment where I need to stand up, I just get nervous. I don't think I've done it enough to gain confidence doing it yet, or whether that'll ever happen, I don't really know. So it's just something that I'm still trying to work on to make sure that I can do it, because it would be really, really useful rather than just sitting in the chair like stranded. But yeah, I think that's basically all the physio I did. So in September I went back to school and I started school on my sea legs, and I have never looked back really. I managed to go to the gym in these legs and everything. So starting back at school was actually quite tricky, because it just meant that I was surrounded by loads of other people when I myself felt wobbly, which was fab. One of the buildings at school actually had a massive slope coming out of it, and that to this day still scares me a little bit to do, but I've gained so much confidence in doing it. Even my friends are like, oh my god, you don't even stop now, but in front of the slope you just do it. So I'm really happy with the progress that I have made. And yeah, in October I went to California in my sea legs. We were debating which legs to take, and I was like, you know what, I want to take my sea legs. So we did, we took them, and I had an amazing holiday and managed to walk and everything in them, even though they were still really, really new. So yeah, I do have some other videos on my sea legs, like comparing them to my blades, and then I also have like what I can do in them. So if you want to like see visuals for any of the things that I've said I was learning, like my progress and how good I am with them now, then I will link them up the top. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video, listening to the transition from my blades to my sea legs. It's something that I never ever thought I would be able to do and want to do, and yeah, I think it's I'm really proud of it, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's not every day that you learn to completely walk more than once in your life, and I've done it now 3 times. So yeah, every time I swap a different type of leg, I guess I kind of have to re-walk again. If you did enjoy this video, then make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!